The story begins in a tense environment where there is silence at the airport, but deep inside, a wave of fear is spreading. This is the last flight of that day, and as soon as it takes off, the airport will be shut down for an indefinite period. The reason is the terrifying news coming from all over the world, reporting that a strange and dangerous virus is spreading rapidly. People infected with this virus are suddenly becoming violent and attacking each other in deadly ways. Amid this fear, flight attendants Paula and Jenny are busy with their preparations, while Captain Frost and co-pilot Wilsey are ensuring that the flight is completed without any problems. Due to the low number of passengers, they are expecting an easy journey, but a slight concern is clearly visible on Wilsey's face. He mentions that he has been feeling strange since the afternoon, so as a precaution, he has brought medicines along. Slowly, passengers begin boarding the plane. A teenage boy, George, who is traveling alone to meet his parents. An elderly couple, where the husband is unable to speak or move due to a serious illness. A military doctor, Shayla, an elderly woman, Louie, with her pet cat, and a young couple, Neil and Susan, whose life is about to begin a new chapter. The environment appears normal, but behind every face, there is an unknown fear hidden. Meanwhile, a passenger named Henry has brought a pet rat with him. When he tries to place it in the cargo area, the rat suddenly bites a nearby passenger named Rolf. At that moment, it seems like a minor incident, but it is about to take a horrifying turn later. After a while, all passengers take their seats and the flight takes off. During the flight, the tension gradually begins to increase. The news coming from the outside world becomes even more frightening. Governments are advising people to stay inside their homes, and the virus has now become a global threat. At that moment, Rolf, who was bitten by the rat, starts behaving strangely. His actions become abnormal. He starts talking to himself, and his condition begins to deteriorate rapidly. When Jenny goes to check on him, Rolf suddenly vomits on her and starts shouting loudly that he doesn't understand what is happening and that the plane should be landed immediately. The situation suddenly turns into chaos. Paula and Jenny try to control him, but things are rapidly getting worse. Meanwhile, no one notices that Louie's cat is secretly licking Rolf's blood, another dangerous sign pointing toward the coming threat. By the time Jenny goes to clean herself, Rolf has completely changed. His eyes no longer have humanity in them, but a wild madness has taken over. He suddenly attacks. First, he knocks Jenny down, and then tries to break the cockpit door. The pilots immediately lock the door and inform ground control, requesting permission for an emergency landing. Inside the plane, everyone is now filled with fear and shock. Some passengers together try to control Rolf, but he is attacking everyone like a beast. Finally, Henry, Paula, and George somehow manage to grab him and tie him up. Dr. Shayla checks the other passengers, while Jenny is completely in shock. She cannot understand how all of this happened so suddenly. At that moment, the captain announces that they have received permission for an emergency landing, and all passengers should fasten their seatbelts. The weather outside is bad, the plane is shaking violently, and during this chaos, Rolf's head keeps hitting repeatedly. Paula tries to tie him properly to prevent injury, but then a horrifying twist comes. Rolf has now completely turned into a dangerous creature. Suddenly, he lunges at Paula and starts tearing her face. The entire cabin echoes with screams. After that, he moves to attack Jenny, but the other passengers hold him from behind. However, it has now become almost impossible to control him. Eventually, everyone together drags him into the bathroom and locks him inside. But now, everyone has only one question. Will this danger stop here, or is this just the beginning? As soon as the plane touches the ground, the fear inside becomes even deeper. The situation had become so bad that every second felt heavy. Dr. Shayla immediately takes out her emergency kit and, seeing Paula's deep wound, tightly wraps a scarf around her face to stop the bleeding and give some relief. But she clearly states that this is only a temporary treatment. If Paula has to be saved, she must be taken to a hospital immediately. Meanwhile, in the cockpit, Captain Frost receives strict orders that no passenger should leave the plane, but seeing the condition inside, he decides to break the rules. He realizes that if nothing is done now, many lives could be lost. He directs the plane straight to the gate, where an airport staff member opens the door and starts taking passengers out one by one. Inside, the captain and Wilsey are still holding the bathroom door so that the dangerous man cannot come out, while others are slowly exiting. But not everyone is able to leave. Bev and her sick husband Kinston are still stuck inside because Kinston cannot move on his own. As soon as they step outside, another strange situation appears. Every gate is closed, locked from the outside. Everyone is shocked because even the employee present there is unaware of this. They run from one gate to another, but every door is found closed. Then they realize that someone is watching them through CCTV cameras, but instead of helping, they are being deliberately kept trapped inside. Fear now starts turning into anger. Why is this being done to them? Meanwhile, the sound of sirens echoes from outside. Looking through the window, they see that police and ambulances are already present, but no one is trying to take them out. Suddenly, the windows are covered and an announcement is made. They are no longer allowed to go outside and are being quarantined there. Hearing this, everyone feels the ground slip beneath their feet. People start calling their families, demanding answers from Jenny in panic and anger, but she herself is also part of the same confinement. She has no answers. Meanwhile, Dr. Shayla reveals that Paula's condition is deteriorating deteriorating rapidly. She urgently needs some specific medicines, which are in her bag, and that bag is still lying in the cargo area of the plane. Forced by the situation, Jenny returns to that dark aircraft with some passengers. Now there was silence and fear everywhere. As they move forward inside, they realize that something has gone terribly wrong. The cockpit was empty, and the captain and co-pilot were nowhere to be seen. When they carefully open the bathroom door, they are faced with a horrifying, blood-soaked scene. But Rolf was not there. That means he was still alive and hiding somewhere nearby. As soon as they realize this, chills run down their spines. They move ahead and reach the cargo area, where Jenny picks up the doctor's bag, while Neil takes out a gun from his own bag to protect his wife. Then they find out that the rats brought by Henry have now escaped from their box. The danger was no longer just from humans, but also from those small creatures. Suddenly, their eyes fall on co-pilot Wilsey, covered in blood and slowly taking the same horrifying form. And before they can understand anything, Captain Frost, who had now completely changed, attacks Jenny from above. The situation worsens so quickly that Neil is forced to shoot the captain. Now the truth was in front of everyone. This virus was turning humans into beasts who were attacking others without thinking. Trapped between fear and reality, they immediately leave from there and take Kinston along with them. But the danger was still not over. One of their companions, Preston, had already been infected, and Bev, who had now taken a dangerous form, had attacked him. Somehow, they all return to a safe place inside the airport. Dr. Shayla starts treating Paula, while Neil tells his wife that he had to kill the captain because he was no longer human. Together, they close all the doors so that no infected person can enter inside. Now Jenny gathers everyone and tells a harsh truth. They are all trapped here. The outside world has abandoned them, and now the only way to survive is to stay united. But then another horrifying twist comes. Kinston, who couldn't even speak, suddenly becomes the victim of a red-eyed rat. That rat jumps onto his head and bites him. Seeing this, everyone understands that this virus is not only spreading through humans, but also through these animals. Forced by the situation, they lock both Kinston and Paula in separate containment, so that if they also transform, the others remain safe. Meanwhile, Ed closely observes that rat and notices a tag on its leg. This was not an ordinary rat. It had been used in some lab experiment. Now everyone's eyes turn toward Henry. Was all of this happening because of him? Was he responsible for this horrifying virus? But Henry clearly denies this accusation. Jenny's mind slowly begins connecting all the dots. She remembers that in the beginning, Henry had introduced himself as a scientist who works in a lab. Suspicion keeps pointing toward him again and again, but when she confronts him alone, Henry calmly explains that if he had really brought lab rats onto the plane, airport security would never have allowed him inside. His argument makes sense, but the situation had become so bad that trusting anyone was no longer easy. They are still discussing this when suddenly Rolf once again loses control and attacks them from behind. His terrifying screams echo throughout the hall. Hearing this, the others run in and somehow manage to catch and tie him again. Everyone now understands that this danger is no longer limited to just one person. Meanwhile, a message arrives from outside. 4 police officers are being sent inside, who will assess the situation and decide whether the passengers can be allowed to leave. Hearing this, a ray of hope rises within everyone. All the people gather near the door, as if waiting for a miracle. But when the door opens, 4 heavily suited officers enter, carrying guns and strange injections in their hands. Their behavior clearly shows that they are not here to help, but to control. As soon as they arrive, they point guns at everyone, snatch Neil's weapon, and take control of that infected rat as well. After that, without any warning, they inject Paula and Kinston. The others, in panic, start asking questions. Why are they not being allowed to go outside? The answer comes. They will not allow this danger to spread outside under any circumstances. If even one of them is infected, it could be deadly for people outside. Therefore, everyone must take this injection, and only if they are found safe will they be allowed to leave. Now the fear becomes even deeper. No one knows what is inside these injections, medicine or death. In such a situation, Louis shows courage first and steps forward to take the injection. But just as she is about to do so, her own pet cat suddenly attacks her and bites her before running away. This was the same cat that had earlier come in contact with infected blood. Now it had itself turned into a moving threat. The situation keeps going out of control. The officers fire bullets at the cat, but it disappears into the darkness. Then from behind comes another horrifying twist. Kinston, who had been quiet till now, had completely transformed. He suddenly pounces on an officer and bites him. Everything happens so quickly that no one can react. Forced by the situation, another officer immediately shoots Kinston and tries to take his injured companion outside. But the situation outside is no different. The door is locked again. In panic, they break the door and go outside. But as soon as they step out, the police begin firing at their own people. Seeing this, the people standing inside are stunned. The outside world had now turned into a battlefield. Out of the 4, only one officer somehow manages to come back inside alive. Now everyone surrounds him and starts asking questions. What exactly is happening outside? But before he can answer, terrifying sounds start coming again from inside. The infected people are now even closer. To save their lives, everyone runs and locks themselves inside a container. Meanwhile, another shock comes. Neil also begins to slowly fall victim to the same horrifying transformation. Seeing his condition, the others immediately separate Susan from him. His fear, his pain, everything is clearly really felt in that small closed space. Now Dr. Shayla reveals a shocking truth. She says that all the injections brought by the officers were different. That means even the scientists and doctors outside have not yet found a cure for this virus. They are testing different antidotes on people, a dangerous experiment where humans themselves have been made test subjects. Hearing this, Henry's anger bursts out. He picks up a gun and grabs that remaining officer, demanding to know their real intention. Out of fear, the officer reveals the truth. The situation outside is completely out of control. No one knows how to stop this virus. That is why the government and scientists are testing different medicines, hoping that one might work. And then he reveals another terrifying truth. This virus is not a normal disease. It is not natural, but created by humans, a bioengineered virus, which has now started taking over the entire world. Now the real face of the truth begins to come out in front of everyone. The words of the injured officer were still echoing in everyone's mind. This was not a normal virus, but a part of a well-planned conspiracy. In fact, a secret cult group had created this virus by conducting dangerous experiments on rats and then started spreading it all over the world. The government was only trying to find its antidote, but the situation had become so bad that no solid solution had been found yet. While telling all this, that officer shoots himself because he knew that now he too would not be able to survive that terrible infection. Now it becomes completely clear to everyone that even the outside world is not safe, and staying here is like inviting death. So now a decision is made that they themselves must find a way to escape from here. At that moment, Ed reveals an important thing. He has been working at this airport for many years, and he knows that there is an underground tunnel here, which leads outside through the drainage system. This could be their last way out. They are just about to move forward when suddenly Wilsey, who had now completely become infected, attacks Ed from above. In panic, they activate the container mechanism, which goes up and crushes Wilsey. This scene is so horrifying that everyone freezes for a moment, but then they regain themselves and quickly start running toward the tunnel. During this, Jenny notices that Henry has disappeared somewhere, and this disappearance was the beginning of a big secret. On the other side, Henry is alone, taking out a gun from a bag. It was clear that he was hiding something, some plan that could put everyone else's life in even more danger. Meanwhile, while running, Jenny comes face to face with Paula, who was no longer human. Without wasting time, Jenny kills her with an iron rod. Now inside her, fear had been replaced by the determination to survive. After some time, they all reach an office, where by looking at the airport map, they try to find the way to that tunnel. At that moment, George tells that he had picked up Henry's bag, in which some extremely dangerous documents and a mysterious box were found. From those papers, it becomes clear that this virus was deliberately created in a lab. But before they could understand anything, Susan and Neil, who had now completely become infected, come to attack them. At the same time, Henry suddenly appears and shoots both of them. But in this struggle, Henry himself becomes a victim of a zombie attack. Now the truth cannot be hidden. As soon as George opens that mysterious box, injections and medicines are seen inside it. Forced by the situation, Henry himself confesses. In reality, he is behind all of this. He is a member of that secret cult group whose aim is to end humanity, because according to them, humans are destroying this earth. With this thinking, they created such a virus by experimenting on rats, which would make humans enemies of each other. Now Henry points a gun and says that he should be given his antidote, otherwise he will kill George. No one is able to stop him, not even Ed, whom he shoots. Forced by the situation, Jenny gives him that medicine. Henry reveals that their network is spread all over the world, and the virus has already reached everywhere. Now it is impossible to stop it. After saying this, he takes George hostage and runs away from there. Now only Jenny and Shayla are left, who try to reach the tunnel through another route. But the path is not easy. There are zombies everywhere. Somehow saving themselves, they hide in a room. There Shayla reveals another truth. She has brought thermal goggles from the officer, with the help of which they can see even in the dark. But at that moment, Jenny sees that Shayla herself has also become infected. Now time was very little. Shayla decides that she will sacrifice herself. She will go outside and distract the zombies so that Jenny can move forward and save George. And then that is exactly what happens. Shayla goes outside, screams, and within a few seconds, dozens of zombies pounce on her. On the other side, Jenny, with a heavy heart, moves toward the tunnel. With the help of the goggles, she follows the trail of blood and finally reaches Henry. But now it was too late. Even after taking the antidote, Henry had completely become a zombie. He attacks Jenny. A brutal fight happens between the two, during which Jenny's goggles fall. At that moment, George shows courage, picks up the gun, and starts shooting at Henry. Taking advantage of this moment, Jenny wears the goggles again and finishes Henry with an iron rod. But the danger was still not over. From above, the sounds of fire and explosions start coming. The police were trying to destroy the entire airport by burning it to eliminate this virus. Now they had only one way left, to escape through the tunnel. Both of them go down into the tunnel. George gets scared, so Jenny gives him the goggles. But then another painful truth comes out. During the fight with Henry, Jenny had also become infected. Her body was slowly giving up, but still she keeps moving forward to save George. Finally, they reach the exit of the tunnel, but that too is closed with iron bars. George somehow manages to get out, but behind him, Jenny had now completely transformed. She tries to grab him, but the bars stop her. George comes out, alone. Behind him are left fire, screams, and a world that is coming to an end. Now he had understood, this was not just the story of one airport, but the beginning of the end of the entire world. And with that, the story ends, in a silence where no voice of humanity remains anymore.